Welcome to this Zentangle Quickie. My name is Heather Hartwick Gladden. I'm a Certified Zentangle Teacher. And today we're going to take a look at the Tangle cluster from CZT Maureen Stott. I think I found this on Pinterest. It just caught my eye. Really neat. Made me think of a candy from when I was a kid, and then that, of course, sent me down a rabbit hole. I think they were called air bonds, and I'm trying to remember. Gosh, it seems like when we would go to a Stuckey's when we were traveling. It was for those that are not maybe in the U.S. maybe don't remember that, but you get off on it was a restaurant, kind of a travel stop. They had all kinds of souvenirs and stuff. So. Oh, I just seem to remember those. And then I went down the rabbit hole, and there's a whole bunch of other people looking also. So funny. All right. This one starts off, well, and it is very simple, but has a really, really neat look with orbs. So I'm just going to plop one right here. And this is one of those that just doesn't matter. Let's see. And I'll try to make some different sizes here without completely overlapping them. Oh, let's put one here. This is, makes me think of jetties as well. Jetties is a nice tangle that's it's orbs that you get to decorate. And I know I have a video on that. Let's see, let's do a little one. And then a couple more. All right, we'll stop with that. Okay, then, and you don't have to necessarily put all of your orbs wherever you want them first. That's just what I wanted to do, so I did. All right, from here, and same thing goes with all of these steps. You could just, do an orb, do all the steps, and then move on to the next. Everything is always up to you. But what I'm going to do, because I found that this kind of helped with the planning, is just drawing a straight line in the center, turning, so that way I can hopefully not have. It always gets difficult at some point, and also there's only so many ways that you can turn this, right? All right, let's just do this. Okay. I never want them to, things to look contrived. This is just a thing. This is just a Heather thing. Or like this, it's like, well, I want them to all be a different angle. Well, it's not the end of the world if they're not either. And at some point, you just have to do it. This is me talking to me, all stern and things. All right. Anywho, from here, crack myself up. I hope I crack you up too. All right, from here, we're going to do C-shaped curve lines, and really odd. So this is the way Maureen has us starting. So just, if you've done the tangle bales, it's kind of like that, where, here's your straight line, and then just do a slightly curved line above that. And on the step outs, I did both sides. And then you could continue, but you could just do one side at a time. It's always up to you. Now, one thing that I thought about, of course, afterwards was, when I like to do these kind of things, I usually like to subdivide, then divide again. And for whatever reason, on this one, I just like we're coming and going to the same point. So coming from here, landing on there. And the convergence of lines creates a neat effect. And so I don't know why I don't feel compelled to do that. It's just weird. I should try it on one of these and just see. Okay, let's do that. All right, so. Oh, well, no, I'm going to do the first one. Okay, now let's do that. Okay, so we're going to subdivide as best you can. It'll work out great. Look at that. And then we'll subdivide again. Oh. All right, we'll do the other side too, so that way they're consistent. I don't see much difference, right? The thing, or one of the reasons that I like to do that, well, usually is because then you don't run out of room. So it's just, it kind of, as best you could to guarantee, okay, well, I can fit so many in, it helps with spacing and stuff like that. But you know what? Sometimes it doesn't matter. Both ways look fine. All right. So we're back to whatever way you like to do it. Going slow for sure helps. Yeah, see, because sometimes you get a gap like that, and then just don't worry about it. I'm going to do that again. Let's see. Well, and here's another thought with that. Because if you do it halfway, then you can decide, well, can I fit something else in there, and at least it looks nice, versus like here, getting all the way to the end and then going, well, I have a bit of a space there. I don't know if I can fit one in, and then you try to fit it in, and but shading will help everything, so no worries. And and I'm here to prove all of the different ways to do something or not to do something. Learn from my mistakes. Even though there's no mistakes in Zentangle. Ooh, and this is, so like this, I have more on the one side. That's a neat effect that you could play with too. If you wanted to do that. I think it's much more fun to just have it happen by accident. That is why we say there's no such thing as a mistake in Zentangle. Only happy accidents. Because you just never know. Something might turn out really cool. So this is a nice fun one, especially if you're using Zentangle as a meditative aid, and or even if you're not, if you're like, I just need to relax, I'm going to do some tangling. Okay, this is a good one because that way you just lose yourself in these lines. And it's nice. All right. Okay. Now, if you take a look at the For More Inspiration link, you will see, actually I'm going to plop one right here as well, just because I feel like something is needed there. One of the challenges I had, both on Maureen's website, which I found, if you click on, click the link that's that says For More Inspiration, that'll take you to Pinterest. That copy is actually, I can see it better. It's a little bit bigger than on Maureen's website. Because usually you click something and it enlarges. This time it didn't. So there's some other little things in there. There's some like little teeny orbs. I couldn't make out what she was doing, except that just you could do different sizes. And then nicely on the samples, you could do like I'm doing, and filling in the little gaps. And it's, of course, if you want to. This one could be interesting paired with jetties, because since it's all orby. I don't know. I just think it's neat. And a lot of times, what I like to do is fill in the gaps where there's gaps, but something like this, not so much. All right, now let's look at some shading. Looking at hers, and this, as I was looking, like going, well, gosh, which way should I do it? But it does seem to make sense. And I always say one of my rules, or guidelines, I should say, of okay, where do we want to put some shading? And it's where things converge, where the lines converge, and that's a great place, and that's right here. So you also don't have to shade it at all. Let's just get some of these done so that way we can be inspired and then put the rest in. Now, I can totally see this. I would, as like with colors, like, and I was thinking as we're in December and I'm doing our Festivus Tangleus and festive tangles, and I was like, well, how does this, how does this fit into that theme? Is what my brain went, then part of me is like, well, it doesn't really matter, but I could see maybe like balls of yarn, or string, even though it's not, it doesn't have like a zigzag. So you could add color with them. And that's where my brain went to the candies. And I don't know, you can just have a lot of fun. It's just a nice filler. All right. As I am doing the shading, if you are enjoying this, and I hope you are, if you would click the like button, I appreciate that if you do. And if you liked it enough to see more, would love to have you be a subscriber to the site. So feel free to also subscribe while you're clicking. In that description section, there are the links to the step outs. I always do my own version and then link to the creator of the Tangle. And then also ways to connect with me. So if you wish. So I have a link to my website where you can follow my blog. Also, link to my Facebook page so you can follow me there. That's where I usually post classes and things like that. You will find them on my site. I don't send those out as a blog post and yet. I'm gonna figure out some different ways to do things. It's a good New Year's goal. But I post on Facebook, and in this Daily Tangle, this becomes a blog post, so you will see that if you sign up for my blog. And then recaps for the classes, I do send those out on my blog. Also, if you are interested, now I'm debating here. You know what? Okay, I'm gonna take this just because I want to. I was thinking about turning it to the inside, but I don't want to do that. There's enough dark there. I'm gonna fuzz it to the outside. Maybe go a little bit darker too. I don't know. So if you would like to hang out with a bunch of amazing Tangle addicts, we would love to hang out with you. There's a link there to our Facebook group, our Tangle Addicts Facebook group. And again, would love to have you join us. There are 4 questions that you need to answer to gain entry to that. Just kind of, it helps to set the tone on the group, as well as kind of keeps out bots or whatever, people that just like to cause trouble because they just don't want to bother answering questions or something. I don't know. But anyway, so that's why I have that set. Look at how neat that is. I think we need to go a little darker on a couple of these. So let me do that. They just are neat. Let's see, what else is there on the site as I'm just adjusting. Let's see, did I get this one? Look at how when you just add some, it just adds just that little bit of extra something that just makes it so much, adds so much life to it and shape. It's these ones, the bigger ones. That's the one. Now, if you were doing this on a toned paper, you could also have fun by adding some white in the center. Oh, and you know what? I didn't think about this until I said that. We have this technique called the sparkle, where as you're drawing the lines, you could just leave a gap and you would leave a gap in a, similar area, and or like a gap and then a dot and then a gap again. It's a really, really neat technique. But nope, I like this. Okay. I like it sort of. I think it's just those big ones because I want them. I don't want to have them too dark. I'm going to use this colorless blender and see if I can. I just want to darken it a little bit more without adding any more graphite. Yeah, there we go. Just to give that little extra. Yeah, like it. Okay. Oh. let's do that in a line. I guess you see I went like this and it really, really darkened it. Oh yes, look at that. And by the way, because I've used this on it seems like the last couple, and this is the one that I started sharpening from the wrong end. So that way you have the number if you want it. It's just colorless blender by Prismacolor, and so very cool. All right, I think I mentioned almost everything. I touched on classes. So if you're interested in tangling with friends online, come and join us. Take a look at my website. You'll see that I do classes twice weekly. And this time of year, though, it gets a little bit nuts. But I always keep everybody well informed on any changes. So you'll see those. A lot of them are free. Some of them are have a cost. And we have a lot of fun. So come and join us for free, and then then you'll see if you want to, if you want to go any further with us. It's no matter what you do, we have a lot of fun, and we like to tangle with as many fun people as possible. So come and join us. All right. So with that, thank you so much for watching, and let me point out, this is the other magic of shading. Doesn't this look brighter? I didn't put any graphite. I didn't spread it all the way out here. Isn't it amazing how it looks brighter than the very edge? It's just amazing. Okay, enough of that. Again, thank you so much for watching and playing along, and I wish you happy tangling.